Hello guys, so today we'll discuss about how you can configure SMTP server with your Spotfire server, which will help you send mails, configure alerts, or maybe schedule some automated emails to a bunch of your users. To do that, what you need to do is you need to have access to the server where access to the machine where Spotfire server is installed. And once you have access to the machine, you need to go to some folders, some create some configuration, and then edit those configuration and apply those configuration to the automated services that you might have, right? To do this, the one thing is you need administrative privileges onto the machine where Spotfire server is installed. You need to have the password to the configuration tool that you have given while installing Spotfire server. Then the admin username and password for the Spotfire administrator, so as to you can apply these settings whenever you modify the SMTP server and update it, right? So let's start. First thing that you need to do is once you log into the Spotfire server, you need to go to a folder that is TIBCO TSS 12.0. That is my current version of Spotfire server in Tomcat, and in Tomcat you need to go to Spotfire bin. So earlier all the folders were present inside bin, all the commands. Now from I think version 7.5 and later, you can find the config.bat file within Spotfire bin, right? So here you can see there's a config.bat file, and you need to go to this location and then type in some commands, which I'll share a TIBCO's community page with you where all these steps are listed and all the commands are also present, and you will find the link into the comment description box of this video, right? So I'll run this command prompt as an administrator. So make sure you have administrator privileges, and then you open it using admin privileges. I'll copy this, right? I'll move to here. Once you move to this folder, you have to write config space import -service -config, then sorry, you'll have to first export the credentials, and of which component you want to do it, capability is equal to automation services, right? And then where do you want to deploy it? The deployment area from where you want to export this configuration minus production, right? So once you enter it, once you pass this command, it will ask for a password, right? So this is the administrative tool password which you have given, the configuration tool that you used while you installed the Spotfire server. So I have given my password, and now if you see, there's a config folder is created. If I go inside config folder, I'll go to root, and then there's a Spotfire dxp.worker.automation config file is present. You just need to open this file, right? And once you open this file, you can scroll down and see there are some SMTP configurations that are present, right? So these are the SMTP configuration which you need to configure, and then that configuration will be used for sending emails. So I'll just I'll configure this. Once you open this file, you have to provide the SMTP configurations, the port, the username, the password. Don't worry, I'll just change my API key once the video is uploaded so that nobody can use it again. So I'm using SendGrid's SMTP. So this is an online SMTP portal which I can use to send emails. Right? So you can configure whatever SMTP server that your organization or you might have. So once you have configured these, like you'll have to provide the SMTP server hostname, then the from address. So this is the user identity which is authenticated on your SMTP server. Right? Then your username, your password, your port number. Right? Okay. Now that you have saved it, now you'll have to import these settings, and once you import it, then you'll apply it to the automation services thing. Okay. I'll just say config hyphen import hyphen service hyphen config. I'll just have to give the config name. My config name I'll give as, let's say, test SMTP config. Again, whenever you import this, so whatever changes that you have created will be imported onto the server, and then you'll have to give again the password of your configuration tool, and now your configuration has been imported to the server. Now that you have imported the settings or imported the configurations, you will have to log into the administrative portal and import or edit these settings to the automation services. Right? I'll just log into my SFLE. I'll go to my automation services. Here you'll have to click edit. Then you'll have to select the configuration. Right? So this is the configuration name that we have given. I'll just check it again. So my name is test SMTP config. Same name I have provided over here. I have given the deployment area as well, and I'll say save. Okay. Once you save it, the automation services will restart itself so that the new configuration will be applied, and you can see the latest configuration that we have created has been applied to the automation services. Again, now what we'll do is we'll create a small automation job, and we'll schedule that job, and we'll test if the SMTP server has been configured properly or not. For that, I'll go to tools. I'll go to automation services job builder. Here, I'll first open an analysis from library. So what will happen is you will have this job or whatever automation services job that you have created will be stored onto the Spotfire server, and like before sending any email, you will have to load the analysis for this job and then export the visualizations that you might want to send to the customer. So how do you do that? So I'll just say browse. In my analysis folder, I have social media POC. I am saying okay. My as the dashboard is already opened into my screen, I don't have to load it. If you load it, it will just open the dashboard that you have selected so that you can select various visualizations that you want to send as a part of this email. Okay. Now it is loaded. I'll just go. I'll then just send an email. I'll send an email to myself, chetan.thote@gmail.com. Subject is my daily report. attached this for reporting purpose. Now you can add visualizations from over here. So whatever dashboard that you have selected in Open Analysis, all these visualizations from that dashboard is like listed over here with page wise as well. So on from survey page, I'll select count per segment. I'll add this. You can give the width and breadth of these visualizations into the email, how you want to do it. Right? Again, here I'll say add extra line breaks above the image so that it doesn't merge into one. Right? I'll say okay. Now that you have created this automation services job, you'll save this job as a library item, right? So I'll just say test config and I'll say save. So whenever you save it, it will ask you to schedule this job, right? Because now that you have created an automation services job and you don't have a schedule for it, and so that will not get triggered on its own. Right? So you can just click on this. It will open this page for you where you can schedule jobs right from here. Right, or otherwise you can just click on automation services. You can log into the portal, click on automation services, schedule a job. In alert monitoring, I have this test config, right? So this is the configuration that I have created. I'll select, I'll just create a schedule. In this schedule, you can see when you want to run the job, at what particular time you want to run it. Then I'll say save. So once you save it, your like configuration is can be seen over here. So for now, I'll run it manually, and it will run on its own whenever the times come. That is midnight. I think every midnight it will run for all 7 days of the week. So I'll just run this. So whenever you run it, it will show the status of it, and it will show what is the like last run and the next run that is scheduled. So eventually when you schedule a job, it will tell, okay, so it has run at midnight today, and maybe tomorrow the next date and the time will be listed down over here. Yeah. So now you see my job is completed, and I can see the mail as well, right? That I have got this mail, a daily report is there, and all the visualizations that I have, right? So this is how you can configure automation services job in and you configure SMTP server in Spotfire. It is a very easy step. First, you will have to go to TSS at Tomcat Spotfire bin. Then you will have to pass a command to export existing configuration of the node, right? The automation services, this command is config export config and the parameters. Once you export the config, you will have to configure your SMTP settings, the port, the username, the password, the server, and the from address. Once you do it, save it, then you will import these settings using config import service config. And once you import, then you will have to go to nodes and services, edit, select the configuration, the name that you have given while you imported these settings, the configs, right? So you just select that, say save, it will restart, and then create a job and just schedule it. That was it for automation services and SMTP configurations, right? I'll add a link to the community page where all the detailed article is present. You can refer that article, or you can come and see this video again. Please let me know if you want more similar videos so that I can work on it. Thank you, and share it with your friends.